Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie for the September monthly challenge. So Jackie, my teammate, has set the challenge and I've printed off the list of things that need to be included in the layout, and I'll come back to them a bit later on. And for this layout I decided I wanted to use the Vicki Boutin print shop, and I went through and I picked out initially some colours that I thought would go with the photograph. One of the challenge items is one or two photos, and I wanted to scrap this photo of my grandpup Rafa. So I picked out ones that were yellows, greens and peaches, and I'm just having a play around of what I want to use, because another of the items on the list, it says no cardstock background, so I'm looking for a pattern paper to use. I settle on this peachy wood grain as my background, and I really like this word print, so I decided I'm going to tear a strip to go down the left hand side of the paper, as it's another item on the list to not only have layers but to use 3 different pattern papers. I definitely use at least 3 by the time I finish, but I'm very conscious at this stage that I am following the list that Jackie's written. And it's funny how it focuses your mind when you're following a list that somebody else has written. So I have printed it off. It is just off camera at the moment, and it's there just for me to keep looking up at to guide me a little bit more, because otherwise I very easily go off piste. So I'm just bringing in some layers now to go underneath the photograph. Some of them are made of a very thin paper. It was part of a paper pack that came with the Vicki Boutin print shop. I want to call it like papier, something like that. I'm sure you can correct me. But it was lots of layers and bits and pieces. And I'm going to use some like washi stickers that were in that pack as well later on. And it just helps add just a little bit of colour and depth behind the photograph. So I now need to figure out where I want to tear it. Down the right side, I'm putting that off because I don't want to make it too big or too short. So while I'm thinking about that, I'm just looking at adding some bits and pieces in. I'm going to do a vertical column of embellishments. Tags are on the list, so I'm cutting some tags out of this paper in colours that go with the photograph. I'm thinking the word today might be a little on the chunky side, so that's been pushed to one side. Same with the flowers, they definitely match the colours, but I'm not sure that I need them. I really like these vellum circles, but they do seem to swamp the photo a little bit at this stage, so we'll have to see how they get on. So I found a darker reddy peach frame there. I definitely think I'll be tucking that in. And I really like these washi tape stickers that look like, like where you put a mug down and get like a watermark. So I think they will definitely make the cut. Obviously, I went through what I've got left of this range off camera at the beginning and put in the tray on the left lots of bits and pieces that have possibilities. And I'm one of those people that I like to make sure that I've looked through it all, so I don't feel like I've missed anything. And I've still got loads left. I've definitely made a good handful of layouts with print shop. So, but hey, there's a lot more that could come from it. So I'm enjoying using it again. I've made some pencil marks on this and I'm just going to tear it. It's a little bit straight and I probably will end up tweaking it and just ripping it a little bit further. But one of the other items on the list is a stencil. So I'm going to come in now with a Vicki Boutin stencil and I'm going to add it underneath these layers. So I'm just going to stick the edge to the text paper just to save me keep moving it around. I know I've joined the paper. When you see the final layout, you never notice that join, so do never be put off to use 6x8s or 6x6 papers to do a long strip. Particularly if they're patterned, you never notice, and it's not the focus of the layout. So I'm just seeing where I want that to actually go. I'm going to have a practice stenciling underneath it. So I brought in a little brush, but I feel that makes it quite dark. So I'm coming in with a bit of a fatter brush. And I'm doing my usual post-it note trick, which you'll see a bit more of. So to make sure that I only do one heart at a time and I don't accidentally brush into one of the others, I've got some post-it notes and I can literally use them to mask off any heart of my choosing off the stencil. Now I used to mask off stencils with washi tape. The washi tape was too sticky. and it quite often ended up maybe damaging stencils when I came to remove it, or when I came to actually wash them down afterwards. So I find that post-it notes work really well, and I've got 4 there I think that I use just to mask off every side of a heart, just so that I can actually stencil them individually. You can see that I'm not putting as much pressure on them as I did when I did the ones behind the paper, because I want them just to be there in the background. So this is one of the things when doing a challenge. Actually, would I have stenciled on this background had it not been for Jackie adding it to the list? I don't know. But actually it certainly made me dig around in my stencils to find the right one to get the effect that I wanted. So I'm just using some double-sided tape, and I've stuck those 2 layers down to the base. So I've just come in with my distresser, and I'm just distressing the ones that are actually cardstock thickness. The very thin paper ones I haven't distressed because it would just tear them. And I'm just layering them up a little bit, and it takes me a few minutes to do that, just with a bit of double-sided tape underneath the photo. I really like this frame. I want it to hang out one corner, but actually I'm going to chop it. It's too nice to waste. I do use the other half later on and tuck it back in, but I didn't want to waste it. So I'm looking at, this is another one of these thin washi stickers, the Bulldog clip, and I was going to take it apart, but I decided it's probably better with the background on, and then I can leave it and use it on foam pads. So there's a few more bits of ephemera that I've cut. I've tucked one in either side. Just feel like it's a little top heavy, so I'm just going to alter the layering there a little bit and get that frame in, because I want the areas with the black to show top and bottom. I don't want it to all be peachy colours, I want some black. So I tore a sticker that looks like a notebook, and I've added that in on the left. So I'm actually going to place that in position now, and then it means I can start adding embellishments either side. So tags were on the list, as I mentioned, so I'm going to add tags top and bottom, but I really like that Bulldog clip, looking as if it's holding everything together. So that too will be added on some foam pads. I've got a flare badge there. That's one of those lovely canvas ones from Hey Little Magpie. It's really worth having a look at the Hey Little Magpie own embellishments. There's some really nice pieces there, and the flare badges particularly, but I do like the canvas ones, are something that I really like. So there's those washi stickers that I talked about that look like coffee rings, and I'm going to add them top and bottom with the tags on top. And while I just play a little bit, I will just run down the list of things that Jackie had. So there's 10 items that you need to use on your layout. No cardstock background, tick, I've done that. 3 different pattern papers, I've definitely done that. Stitching, the stitching on the black either top and bottom of the photo. Stamping, I've got the stamped little circle I've just added there, which says this is why I'm a dog person. So that's gone in. Flare badge, we've talked about one or two photos. I've got 1 photo. Layers, definitely layers under the photo. Twine or wax thread I haven't tackled yet. I will be adding that nearer the end. Tags and stencil. So I'm one off getting the 10 items on this layout. I found a few more of those washi cup rings, and I'm going to add them as well either end, just to tie everything in, because I had another one in that peachy pink colour, so I thought actually I would add that in. So I never like to think I've missed out on anything, so I'm going to go through the stickers and the chipboard. I found a little word phrase that said awesome photo. I think that's going to be the put on the photograph there. And I found a little chipboard black piece with 5 gold hearts. I really like that. I think that's enough. I absolutely adore this dog. If you've watched any videos, or you know me, that I absolutely love this dog. Having never ever had a dog, now since my son has had a dog, I didn't realise how a dog could make you feel. And we have him on a regular basis, and we have him for sleepovers, and he's adorable, yes. So enough about my grandpup. So I'm just having a look. I've got some twine, I've got some white, and I've got some black, and I'm deciding which colour I want to use. And I prefer the white, so I've cut it to length, and I'm going to stick it down on the back. I'm just coming in with a stencil. I want to add a couple more hearts. So do check out this range and more at Hey Little Magpie. Check out the monthly challenge. There is a prize of points to spend in the shop. Just make sure you put your layout in the right album on our Facebook group to be in with a chance of winning. Also, it's only running for September 2023, so if you're watching this video late, unfortunately the deadline will be over. The winner is always picked at random. So stamping was on the list. I've already stamped on some journaling tags, but now I'm feeling a bit braver and I've got a few splat stamps, and I'm just going to echo the picture. The paper at the bottom was already marked and I'm echoing it at the top. So thank you so much for watching. This is the finished layout and there's some close-ups for you to see too. Please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, do take part in the challenge, go and check out Jackie's as well, and I hope to see you here real soon. Bye for now.